Hey guys, LQ here with the LQ review. I'm going to continue with my Masters of the Universe video series today by reviewing the 1987 classic Masters of the Universe. All right. I grew up with this movie, right? It came out in 87. I was a kid. I was a tiny kid in 87. I was very much into that He-Man phase, right? When I was 4 years old when He-Man first came on the scene with the toys and the cartoons. So by the time the movie came out in 87, I must have been 6 or 7 years old. It's right around there. And I was deep into the throes of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I had all the toys. I wish I still had all the toys. I still have a lot of the toys. A lot of them I have recollected over the years. Some of them are from my original collection. I'd say most of them I've recollected over the years. And a lot of those are Origins toys and things like that also. But I had all the toys. I watched the cartoons. Like, He-Man was my jam. And the movie came out. And I distinctly remember thinking, what am I watching? like it was called Masters of the Universe, but man, it really wasn't Masters of the Universe. Like, He-Man was there, Teela was there, Skeletor was there, Evil Lyn was there. I think that was Beast Man. I think that's the Sorceress. Yeah, that's the Sorceress. Who are these other characters? This Blade. Who's that? Who are all these other characters? Why are we on Earth? Who's Courtney Cox again? Like, it was just the whole thing just bewildered me. And remember, I was 6 or 7. I didn't understand some of the budget constraints that were a reality at the time, right? Like, I didn't understand that. It didn't even come into my mind that they might not be able to afford all the special effects that it took to telling this story. I was just like, where's Battlecat? Where's Orko? Instead of Orko, we got Gwildor. There he is. In his little Orko twin pack. Who is this? Is the Revolution? Yeah. That's Gwildor right there. Almost as he appeared in the movie. So, Gwildor. He was our stand-in for Orko. Because I'm assuming they couldn't afford to make something float around. So they created a Hobbit. And where's the other one? I'll be right back. All right, here we got the Dolph Lundgren He-Man. He-Man, Defender of Eternia. So, clearly, where is it at? There he is. The Dolph Lundgren He-Man. Clearly, the movie still has some pop culture resonance. The fans of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe have a soft spot for the movie, even though it was ridiculous and didn't have much in common with the cartoon. It still had a certain charm that even today, upon rewatching, you can say, that's a bad movie, but it has its charm. And it does. Masters of the Universe has its charm. So, it opens in Eternia. It's established that He-Man and Skeletor have had this long-standing battle. Whether the cartoons are canon or not, who knows? But it's established that they've had this long-standing battle. And now Skeletor is ready to make his move on Castle Grayskull. He has taken the Sorceress hostage. And He-Man, Man-at-Arms, and Teela, they are mounting one last battle, one last resistance. They get Gwildor, who has the Cosmic Key. And they enter Grayskull. They cannot save they cannot save the Sorceress, and they have to escape through a portal, and they end up on Earth, where they meet Courtney Cox. Skeletor sends his assassins, Evil Lyn, Beastman, a bunch of other characters that nobody's ever heard of. Sends him to Earth. There are battles that take place on Earth. At some point, we meet up with the principal from Back to the Future. He shoots things with a shotgun. Skeletor does a full-on invasion, and the final battle takes place on Eternia. We're on Eternia, maybe all of 10 minutes in the movie. Again, there's a certain charm in this movie. There's a certain nostalgia in this movie that I cannot deny. I watch it at least once a year. It's a bad movie, and I watch it at least once a year. Dolph Lundgren does not do a good job of acting. He is as wooden as can be. I still watch it every year. Gwildor looks like he's wearing a plastic mask. I still watch it every year. I'll tell you what, the saving component of Masters of the Universe was Frank Langella's Skeletor. For whatever reason, Frank Langella, who is a phenomenal actor, for whatever reason, he poured his heart and soul into Skeletor, and it oozes on in every scene. You can tell that he loves this character, and he's doing his best to play Skeletor. I think later on he came out and said that it had to do with his kids or his grandkids. They were really fans of the character and he wanted to do something for them. That's awesome. Whatever the case may be, he poured his heart and soul into Skeletor very clearly, and he had a certain idea of what he wanted Skeletor to be, and that idea shone through very effectively on screen. Unfortunately, the final battle was a little anticlimactic. I'm pretty sure that those swords were way too heavy for them to be swinging around, and that I think that they just ran out of money, because the final battle just had some swords clinging together, a lot of weird cuts, and then it was over. I still like it. I still like it. I grew up with it, guys. It's in here. It's in here. So, objectively, not a good movie. Wooden performances other than Frank Langella. Bad practical effects. This was in the age of Star Wars. It should have been good practical effects, but there was bad practical effects, and it was poorly written to take the action out of Eternia. But again, it was charming, and it had you could tell it had a reverence for the source material, even though it didn't adhere to it. That reverence was there. I love this movie, and I have to give it a positive review. So that's my take on Masters of the Universe. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below while you're down there commenting. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.